Wish you a great one this season. All the joys and blessings, that come rather with the season. We're also hoping that you're going to take some time out today to reach out to those in your space who cannot celebrate Christmas themselves. Let's begin with Mr. President's message this year. It's his first Christmas since he became president, and President Tinubu, we understand, has again raised the hopes of Nigerians, saying that they should expect a new dawn of prosperity, peace, and progress soon. He did mention that he understands what these circumstances and situations are. His assurance is coming amidst the biting cost of living crisis, which is believed to be largely triggered by his administration's twin policies of petrol subsidy removal and currency floating. He's now pledged his administration's commitment to implementing measures to ease the burden on the most vulnerable, address current hardship, and alleviate the suffering of all Nigerians. According to him, in the spirit of Christmas, reflecting the best of Christ, let us all endeavor to extend the warm embrace of kindness to those around us who need it. He noted that this year had been a time of transformation and relentless change in the country, and is aware that the necessary reforms being implemented to achieve a more prosperous, peaceful nation for all had imposed unique sacrifices. And he goes on to say, as Nigerians navigate this transition to stability, prosperity, and renewed hope, is urging everyone to once more hold fast and be rest assured of his commitment to govern with vision, dedication, and empathy. So what's Christmas like where you are? It doesn't feel like Christmas in faraway Bethlehem, where Jesus was born thousands of years ago, and that's what we're talking about this morning. The Church of Nativity, built right on the spot where it's believed that Mary gave birth to Jesus, is usually busy with visitors at this time of the year, but not in 2023. Christmas has been cancelled this year in Bethlehem, largely because of the ongoing war in Gaza. And Gaza is only about 73 kilometers away from Bethlehem. So you understand that quite a number of people in Bethlehem have strong ties, have links to Gaza through family, whether they're Muslim or Christian Palestinians. And they say the cancellation of the festivity this year is a sign of mourning for the thousands of civilians that have now been killed in Gaza. There's also the economic implication. Bethlehem is mainly a tourist place where people troop in for holidays like these. But not many people want to go to Bethlehem now. They don't want to be caught, in the way of fire with the ongoing war in that part. Let's bring you an update of the crisis in that part of the Middle East.
Escalation of hostilities continues in the Israel-Hamas war since the insurgency of October 7th. The wake of October 7th, 2023 could never have been imagined by both the state of Israel and Palestine, especially Gaza, which is now almost a desolate land. The offensive by Hamas on the 7th of October led to the death of about 1,300 Israelis. Records put the death toll as the third worst terrorist attack so far. Hamas leader says the assault was a result of what he called the desecration of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Accusations and counter-accusations from both sides on the cause of the attack. But it is certainly not unrelated to the long-standing political and territorial dispute between the two states.
This is shocking if you did not know that since 1967 till today, more than 750,000 Palestinians was jailed in the Israeli prisons. It is very shocking that no one is knowing that since the October 7 till today, more than 2,600 Palestinians was arrested from West Bank since today, before October 7th, more than 5,500 Palestinians was in the serving in the Israeli jail.
Israel sees the provocation by Hamas as a terrorist attack to the magnitude of US 9/11 and consequently declared a war to end Hamas.
We are going to wage a war against Hamas now. And I want to be very clear. War is a dirty game. And war is a terrible thing. But sometimes it's necessary. This is one of those cases where it's necessary and where it's justified. We will do everything we can to avoid civilian casualties. We will do everything we can.
Beyond the trade of words, the death of civilians, especially women and children, has raised wide condemnation on Israel's strategy of fighting Hamas. As experts say, Hamas is an institution and may be impossible to end them.
The UN, different bodies establish inquiry commission to investigate what is happening. It is pure textbook genocide. What is happening right now is a genocide. A textbook genocide. Period. One word, loud and clear.
About 2 million people are already displaced with inadequate shelter and sanitation options. Hospitals are almost non-functional in Gaza, leaving the wounded to not just fate, but untold pain and suffering. Israel mourns lives lost and many kidnapped. Gaza struggling under the ruins and rubble of not just collapsed buildings, but the weight of hunger, poverty, pains, diseases, sicknesses, lack of schools, hospitals, hygiene and sanitation. The humanitarian crisis caused by the war has stirred reaction from the global community as efforts to broker a ceasefire has not been successful. Nigeria, China and many countries in Africa and the Middle East are calling for a ceasefire. But Israel has enjoyed unflinching support from the United States, United Kingdom and the European Union. Even though there have been pro-Palestine protests in many of these countries, many others have also questioned the powers of the United Nations and its inability to check what they refer to as excesses of Israel. Considering how long it actually took the United Nations Security Council to reach a resolution on humanitarian aid to Gaza says a lot. The United Nations Security Council resolution has come under criticism as not enough to meet the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. As the world works to ensure there's an end to this crisis, one can only hope for a swift and quick resolution in order to ensure an end to the loss of lives and an ease in the suffering of the people. Moya Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.